Hello everyone, and welcome to the industry briefing session for the QBuild Service Maintenance tender project coming up. This particular industry briefing session will focus on the soft service maintenance activities. We're hoping to go out to tender as of the week of Monday the 15th of February to Friday the 19th of February. So we're here to discuss the upcoming opportunities and to go over the details that will no doubt put you in a better position responding to your tender non-pricing and pricing workbooks to demonstrate our commitment to continuous improvement and to instruct you on how you can answer any questions you may have and to provide further clarity on QBuild's tendering process moving forward. So over the past 5 or 6 years, we've looked at the way we released contract tender packages, which has resulted in a reduction of red tape. We've maintained an approach of creating a number of smaller contract packages that will provide a fair and reasonable opportunity for all business sizes. QBuild as a business is committed to providing better services for Queenslanders, as well as a commitment to value for money. QBuild operates as a business, providing a wide range of services such as construction, project delivery, building design and consultation, management of breakdown services, or urgent repair work through our MRC call centres, as well as service maintenance. QBuild has a focus on end-to-end property and asset lifestyle management, which will see QBuild involved in the design and consultation phase, as well as construction, excuse me, and the maintaining of that property throughout its life cycle. We've updated our pricing and non-pricing workbooks. I'll go through those in more detail a bit later in the presentation. We've also modernised some of our questions in the non-pricing workbook. We've also created a contract management plan, which I will go through in a little bit of detail a bit later on as well as we go through. As you may know, about the recent department changes, QBuild is now a division of the newly established Energy and Public Works. I briefly touched on QBuild's core functions earlier. QBuild operates in 6 different regions and continues to outsource over 90% of its work to industry. As I mentioned, QBuild operates in 6 different regions. They are the Southeast Queensland, Southwest Queensland, Wide Bay Burnett, Central Queensland, North Queensland and Far North Queensland. And most of those regions have a few regional offices in each region. Within the SEQ region, we have the Ipswich office, South Coast District office, and the Sunshine Coast office. We also have offices in the CBD and Cannon Hill. For Southwest Queensland, there are offices in Charleville and Roma. Wide Bay, they have an office in Bundaberg and Maryborough. Central Queensland, offices in Emerald, Gladstone and Mackay. North Queensland, Mount Isa. And Far North Queensland, there's an office on Thursday Island and in Cairns. So QBuild are an enabler of a wide range of products and services for our client. We provide services that allow our clients to transition into new offices and workspaces. We provide renovation services as well as facility maintenance services for some of the larger properties such as your CBD high-rises, correctional facilities, which will see a building-related service managed in a more streamlined capacity. In terms of service maintenance, apart from the soft service maintenance activities, such as clean, horticulture, pest control and waste, QBuild offers a hard service maintenance product, which includes management of items such as fire equipment, lifts, HVAC, electrical, pool maintenance and so on. So upcoming opportunities for SEQ. Regarding the soft service maintenance, we have 21 contract packages going to tender. I believe that's 14 cleaning and 8 horticulture. We'll also be going to tender in early 2022, so early next year as well. For your information, Southeast Queensland has also just entered into a tender exercise for the fire and lift equipment, which is just launched in the past few days. Continuing on from the previous slide, here is a snapshot of what you could typically consider as hard service maintenance. As I mentioned, fire and lift services that have gone to tender. Regarding your soft service maintenance, cleaning, pest control, hygiene services, waste and horticulture services. But as I mentioned, at this stage, it is just cleaning and horticulture going out to market shortly. To provide a service, an overview of the service maintenance product, we provide service maintenance to a portfolio of over 8,600 sites. This includes both hard service maintenance and soft service maintenance activities. This is across the state. For soft service maintenance alone, we currently provide services on approximately 1,300 sites across the state. So one of the major innovations we've done over the past 5 or 6 years is the introduction of the web portal, which most of you may be familiar with. I believe the web portal is now up to version 2. For those who are not familiar with the web portal, we use the web portal for not only service maintenance work orders, but for any additional works outside the contract through to any construction projects. So for those who are unfamiliar with the web portal, it's a platform used to manage our work orders where QBuild will issue a work order. The contractor can upload your invoice along with any supporting documents such as service reports, defect reports or any service recommendations, etc. Excuse me. Now the condition assessment report typically relates to the hard service maintenance activities. However, there's a new requirement to have a similar report completed once a year, which I'll go over a bit later when I discuss the new contract management plan. We've also updated our KPI criteria and the report itself, which is something we've looked at improving as we consider the KPI report and the KPI meeting itself to be an opportunity to highlight and discuss the overall delivery of the contract and ultimately the success of the contract. So you will see the criteria of the KPIs slightly adjusted, as well as the KPI report itself. Regarding the objectives of the invitation to offer, we have maintained a variety of contract sizes so that all contractors, regardless of your business's size or capability, can submit offer responses. We also arranged contracts geographically, which will see a number of contracts on the Sunshine Coast, the South Coast, as well as Brisbane Metro. We also have one particular building, which is it will be released as a standalone high-risk contract. It is a cleaning contract. It's quite a significant, well-known building, so we're quite excited about that. So please keep a lookout for this particular tender release. The Queensland State Government Procurement Management Framework, which is continuously updated, provides a clearer information and provides a clearer information, for, I guess, managing and monitoring stronger performing contractors throughout the state. This will help us improve our systems in real time. We're always looking to improve our processes in these tenders. We've included the contract management plan, as I have mentioned. The contract management plan itself will actually be an exclusive document set up for each contract, which will be launched at the beginning of the contract, possibly in the induction meetings, and it will become a contract management plan exclusive between the QBuild and the contractor itself that will set out our QBuild's expectations. But as I said, I'll run through it a little bit later in the slide. These contracts will be a 3-year term with the option to extend up to the original award term. And subcontracting is not permitted without the written approval from the principal. However, we understand that there are circumstances where subcontractors may be used for high-rise external building cleans, etc., as well as some remote areas where you have difficulty finding employees. However, please nominate and detail this in your response non-pricing workbook. Okay, so continuing on for the objectives of the ITO, the invitation to offer, QBuild are always looking for contractors who can show fantastic records of workplace health and safety, and also contractors who will adopt QBuild's commitment to a zero harm workplace, which I'm sure is most of you in the industry, let's be honest. We want to see in the tender submissions that you have capacity and the capability to complete all the works required. Some of the sites and contracts have quite extensive scopes of works. For example, the periodic cleaning services at Queensland police sites is to be completed after hours or on the weekends over a period of a month or so. So please consider this and your company's capability while responding to the pricing workbooks. That's not just getting the works done as well, that's also with responding to your invoices and service reports within our timeframes as well. So within the next week or so, you should see all these tenders out to market. As I said, we're hoping to launch possibly Monday the 15th or Tuesday the 16th. This may be a staggered approach where you may see some contracts released on the Tuesday, some will be released on the Wednesday and Thursday and so on. And this is simply because of a resourcing structure that we have at the moment. I can also reveal that there will be contractor walkthroughs. Now, what we have done is the contractor walkthroughs will be commencing in the third week of the tender. So hopefully this will give you enough time to download the documents, make your considerations to the packages that you want to submit an offer on. and register for the walkthrough, because you do have to register for the walkthrough. Also, the contractor walkthroughs are mandatory. You'll see in your pricing workbook, there is a column marked with a Y that indicates whether the site is having a contractor walkthrough. You'll also see the date and applicable times as well, and the meeting place. But you will have to register, as I said, your interest in these walkthroughs, or your attendance, sorry, for the walkthroughs, via an email address that I will go over in a bit later on, towards the end of the slide. This is a procurement email address who will log and track your attendance record. To give you some numbers regarding those walkthroughs itself, there'll be 50 walkthroughs, I believe, 50 walkthroughs all up. That is 10 for the horticulture, and I think there's 41 for the cleaning. So it's going to be quite a busy time for all involved. So hopefully I believe we've structured it in a way that gives you enough time in between days as well. We're going to have a 6-week tender period, which I believe is quite generous. Tender evaluations will take place, will take between 3 to 4 weeks after the close date. And we're looking at awarding in possibly April or May, which should give you enough time to get your security clearances for your staff in time for the start date of contract of 1 July. We're also holding contractor induction meetings for successful contractors, and setting up of the contract management plan, as well as on-site inductions as well. June will also be creating work orders, so you have a full set of work orders moving forward. So here's a small snapshot of the contract packages going out to tender. In case you're wondering, to provide some advice on what low complexity refers to, this is a term that we use in the contract evaluation process to identify risk. So you'll typically see fire systems contract or electrical classed as a high complexity, whereas the soft we generally regard as a low complexity. Okay, so I can at this stage make you aware that we have actually made some updates to our tender pricing workbook. The same rules apply for those who are unfamiliar with our pricing workbooks. Please make sure that you look at the instructions tab and you fill in everything that is blue. You must complete all fields that are blue. Okay, so here is a snapshot of our pricing workbook, where you will see the particular column, this particular column here, next to the extended description column. Now that column there is to show your I guess to provide your costing, for the additional COVID cleaning that is currently being done outside the contract. Now, to get the scope of that particular COVID cleaning on each particular site, those details will be found in the extended description cell. So if you see a cell in this particular COVID cleaning column that is white, there is no requirement for you to fill that in, because there is no additional COVID cleaning happening on that particular site. We will look at these costs and factor that in when evaluating the tenders. However, this is a tender exercise for ongoing commercial cleaning. So we are looking at that as a consideration, but what we're generally evaluating price-wise will be based on your monthly cost and your annual costs. Going down to that second snapshot there, you'll also see 2 blue highlighted cells. Now, this is where you will typically put in your percentage increases in between each year of contract. So, for example, if you wanted to put in a 2% increase to allow for CPI and any kind of award wage increases, etc., you would put that particular figure in the column underneath the heading there, not in the green area, not in the blue heading at the top, but the area itself, and that particular value will auto-populate the rest of the cells. So that will show you your pricing for the term of the full 3 years. Continuing on for our updates to our pricing workbook. This particular schedule of rates tab, once again, we're looking for all areas highlighted blue to be populated, which will automatically populate these cells to the right. And going back to the previous tab that we were just looking at with your yearly increases, your yearly increase value will auto-populate these particular cells. So once again, if we get an hourly rate for carpet shampoo service for year 1, if you put in your yearly increases in that other particular tab, that would auto-populate so we can actually see how much your hourly rate is for carpet shampoo service throughout the life of the contract. Excuse me. We've also given you the ability to put in your percentage increase for the 4th year. So that is the 1st year of extension. So therefore, if we are to exercise our option to extend, we're aware of what costs each site should be. Now, there are no particular updates to the pricing workbook for horticulture, and the non-pricing workbook we have updated also, but it's just more of a modernisation of some of the questions that we ask. But likewise, later on in the slide, if anyone does have any questions, we have an email address and phone numbers for your reference that you can, by all means, send in an email, pick up the phone and give us a call, and we can talk you through your tender pricing workbook and how it works at your leisure. We have also updated some of our contract documents. This is an all-encompassing contract, so all documentation noted in the invitation to offer will actually form part of the contract. This may also include any supporting documents such as site floor plans, because I know there's a small number of sites that do actually have site floor plans as supporting documents. The conditions of contract underwent some updates, including the Building Industry Fairness Act, as well as updates to invoicing timeframes, which I'm sure you're all aware of. Okay, continuing on from our updates to our documents, we have actually made some updates to our major cleaning specification documents. Most of these are in the general area, which you'll see highlighted here for your knowledge. So please take a good look at the specifications when they come out to tender, because there are some slight modifications to all of them. That's the general cleaning specification itself, as well as the client-specific documents such as QAS, QPS, and I believe there's a Green Star specification as well. One of the major changes is the requirement for all bin liners to be recognised as biodegradable moving forward. which I believe is one thing that the government is pushing towards, is reducing our single-use plastics. So please, as I said, take a good look at these specification documents because there are updates. Okay, the tender evaluation team will consist of 3 panel members. So we'll have a procurement officer on board as well as a technical officer, which you might see someone as typically a contracts officer. Potentially some of our clients will also be invited, our clients are invited to be part of the tender process, and some of them have actually responded. So this time around we will have our clients' input as part of the tender evaluation panel. We'll be evaluating the non-pricing criteria first, shortlisting and then moving on to the pricing criteria. So it's very important that you provide as much detail as possible in your responses to the questions in the non-pricing workbooks. Okay, as I mentioned a few times previously, we've actually created a new document known as the Contract Management Plan. The Contract Management Plan will become a binding agreement between QBuild and the contractor, exclusive to that particular contract. So in your offer documents, you will actually see a copy of the Contract Management Plan. Now, there's no need for you to fill out anything or respond to the Contract Management Plan itself at all. It's just there for your reference, for you to read through. As I said, this will be completed and I guess drafted in its final version at your contractor induction meeting with your QBuild representative. The CMP, or the Contract Management Plan, it itemises the expectation of the arrangement between QBuild and the contractor, and I guess it shows what we expect, and it is something that all contractors are to adhere to. Also previously, I did touch on one particular point in the Contract Management Plan itself. Now, this particular point is one that I wanted to enter into the slideshow itself because I believe it's one of the major the major items of the Contract Management Plan itself. So one of the major inclusions is item 13, which is the requirement for the contractor to provide a yearly site data report on a template created and provided by QBuild to the contractor. Now, we're requiring this for all contractors, so that's pest control, sanitary providers, horticulture, cleaning, and our waste. There is a tailor-made data report itself for each industry. And what we typically expect to see on this report when it is returned is the details around site measurements and number of kitchens, bathrooms, etc. However, only for the areas that have an effect on your services. So, for example, I'm not expecting the cleaners to itemise the square meterage of garden beds, etc. So please have a good read of the Contract Management Plan itself, in particular with item 13. This is something that we're requesting once a year and at any point throughout the contract, but however, you may only typically see a request for this particular report throughout the contract when we know of any renovations to particular properties. So if a renovation to a property exists and the service area is reduced or increased, we would expect to send out a site data collection form to that particular contractor to fill in and respond back to QBuild. So please, once again, make sure you have a good read of the Contract Management Plan, in particular item 13. Okay, so additional information and resources. So on this particular slide, we have some email addresses and phone numbers should you wish to contact anyone at any time throughout the time the tenders are out to market. Please, if you have any questions, big or small, please send them through. If they are technical questions, they will come towards myself and the team to answer. If you have any questions regarding the procurement process itself, please direct all your emails to the QBuild seq.soa queries email address. And as I said, if they are technical questions, they will come to me and I will provide a comprehensive response on those questions. So by all means, please send in your questions should you have any. No doubt you will, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. For all contractors who have not yet registered for QBuild, there is also an email address up there in that particular slide showing you the contact details of the business area to reach out to should you wish to get any information on how to actually register to work with QBuild. And like I said, please, if you've got any questions at all, please give us a call. I hope the briefing session itself was handy. By all means, we're all here for your questions. Good luck with your offers. As I said, Monday, 15th of February, I believe, to the 19th of February, we will be going out to market. Yes, 15th to the 19th. And as I said, it may be staggered. So if you do see some packages coming out Monday, you might see one or two. Don't panic. There are more coming out the following days, but hopefully by Friday, the 19th of February, we'll be all out to market. So good luck with your offers. I hope to see some of you guys at the contractor walkthroughs. And like I said, if you have any questions, please sing out and give us a call. Thanks, guys.